A distance of 11,349 kilometers with 7 seas in between. None could match the distance in trust that developed between New Delhi and Ottawa last year. But now, nearly 9 months of no high-level representation, India and Canada have finally deputed their top-level envoys for each other. A 1990 batch IFS officer Dinesh Patnaik will be the High Commissioner from the Indian side to Canada. Canada has deputed a veteran diplomat Christopher Cooter as a new envoy to India. This positive move to rekindle relations comes after Prime Minister Modi met Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney on the sidelines of G7 summit in July this year. Both the leaders had underscored the importance of restarting senior ministerial as well as working level engagements. KP Fabian, former Deputy High Commissioner of India to Canada, explains the opportunities that the betterment in relations can bring.
This is only the beginning. We have to see more progress, and there India and Canada have to take care of one thing. Canada on its part should take prompt and correct action whenever there is any violence or threat of violence against Indian High Commission or Indian entities, or even against diaspora from India directed against, in this case, the Hindus. That is incumbent on Canada under the Vienna Convention and also its own laws. It is something which Canada has not always done correctly and promptly. On India's part, India should not get worked up if a few people go on shouting Khalistan Zindabad from housetops in Canada. Because under Canadian law, it is not illegal to preach separatism. What India should insist on is that those Khalistanis who resort to violence or threaten violence should be promptly brought to justice.
Deterioration in the India-Canada relations were witnessed under the previous Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, who accused the Indian High Commission of being involved in the killing of the separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Canada is a rule of law country. The protection of our citizens and defense of our sovereignty are fundamental. Our top priorities have therefore been, one, that our law enforcement and security agencies ensure the continued safety of all Canadians, and two, that all steps be taken to hold perpetrators of this.
Such allegations, which were not backed by hard proof, were strongly responded by New Delhi.
Since September of 2023, the Canadian government has not shared any shred of information with us. Yesterday, again, after the public inquiry, hearing, we had again issued a statement saying that Canada has leveled serious allegations but has so far not given any evidence to back it up. As far as the allegations are concerned, PM Trudeau's own admission yesterday would indicate the value. As regards our stance on the allegations, we will naturally reject false imputations against our diplomats.
The then Prime Minister of Canada had made such comments despite not giving any proof that India had demanded, which he himself later admitted to.
Late July, early August, I was briefed on the fact that there was intelligence from Canada and possibly from Five Eyes allies that made it fairly clear, incredibly clear, that India was involved in this killing. Agents of the government of India were involved in the killing of a Canadian on Canadian soil. We chose to continue to work behind the scenes to try and get India to cooperate with us. Their asks of us was, well, how much do you know? Give us the evidence you have on this. And our response was, well, it's within your security agencies. You should be looking into how much they know. You should be engaging us. No, tell us what you know. Show us the evidence. And at that point, it was primarily intelligence, not hard evidentiary proof.
At the root of Trudeau's stance were factors internal to Canadian politics, his own woke politics. And his dependence on this man, leader of the new diplomatic party, self-styled as liberal, but in reality a Khalistani apologist. Jagmeet Singh literally dictated the agenda of the Trudeau government. The result was the free run Khalistanis got in Canada, to the extent of making Trudeau compromise on their larger Indo-Canadian relationship. Temples got regularly attacked. Parades had a prime minister being shown as a target of assassination. The relationships went into deep freeze. A tit-for-tat expulsion of diplomats followed, and Trudeau became a liability, not just for Canadians, but for Canada-India ties also.
We had summoned the acting High Commissioner of Canada, and thereafter conveyed that we had no faith that the Canadian government will look after the safety of our diplomats, and therefore we had taken a decision to withdraw our High Commissioner and along with him 5 other diplomats. Subsequent to that, we saw that there was a communication from the Canadian side asking them to leave, but we had withdrawn our diplomats before their decision.
With Trudeau out, G7 provided an opportunity to replug, and Carney seized it with both hands.
India, the 5th largest economy in the world, effectively the most populous country in the world, central to a number of those supply chains, at the heart of a number of those supply chains, so it makes sense. And in addition, bilaterally, we have now agreed, importantly, to continued law enforcement dialogue. So there's been some progress on that. It recognizes issues of accountability. I extended the invitation to Prime Minister Modi in that context, and he has accepted.
This meeting in Alberta, Canada, on the sidelines of the G7 summit, paved the way for normalizations and reset. Geopolitical analyst Siddhant Kishore highlights how this move is a step in the right direction, but India must tread with caution and let its demand be heard.
The recent developments between Canada and India are steps in the right direction. Both countries are clearly understanding how much valuable this relationship has historically been. And I think the departure of Justin Trudeau and the uncertainty in Washington right now are two variables that have gotten both these countries even closer right now. We must understand that Washington DC is acting very uncertain in a very uncertain manner, and that just prompts India to look for more partners to diversify its economic needs. And I think Canada can be one of those candidates that India can work with to improve and solidify its trade.
Under the fire from Trump, with the American president insisting Canada could be the 51st state of the United States of America, Carney perhaps also needed more friends outside of America.
I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state, because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. It's too much. Why are we paying $200 billion a year essentially in subsidy to Canada? Now, if they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it.
And with its economy wobbly owing to Trudeau's woke mismanagement, There is also convergence for economic gains as India-Canada share a rupees 69,368 crore trade volume with potential for a big upside. As India and Canada look forward to welcoming each other's envoys, spirits in both Ottawa and New Delhi soar high. What is yet to be seen is if this upward trajectory can result into a strategic shift, with India asserting for greater cooperation to curb extremist elements while also jointly striking a balance with the White House.